All right.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Calvin Chambers, with another episode of the Innovative Dream Podcast. Thank you all for tuning in and welcoming us on this journey of podcasting, talking about entrepreneurship, love of creative businesses, hobbies, creative stuff, pop culture, whatever it is, we talk about it. Now, here we are with.
Lanzeral. Appreciate you so much for having me on the show, Calvin. My name is Lanzeral. I'm a variety streamer over on Twitch. You can pretty much find me playing all manners of things. You've probably seen some of them on Instagram, Calvin. I play horror games, shooters, virtual reality, mixed reality. I'm even starting to attempt to branch into some IRL stuff. So yeah, it's very interesting.
Okay. So, for those who don't know, what is IRL?
So basically, IRL is in real life. What that means is rather than us sitting here at the computer playing a game or doing something like that, we are actually mobile. We're probably outside doing something, or we're going on a trip somewhere, or it could even just be me doing like a cooking stream. Well, basically, it is us in our normal elements, not just sitting in front of the computer. We could be cooking, we could be working out, we could be doing anything.
Okay. Well, for those who didn't know, now you know. So Lazaro, are you able to tell us a little bit more about like why streaming, why you love of streaming? I see that that's a big buzz nowadays. Everybody's streaming, whether or not it's on YouTube for IRL stuff, cooking, reviews, uh, uh, showcasing different products and stuff on
Yep.
YouTube because that's how it's always been,
Yeah.
But now people are taking that over to Twitch. People are going on and streaming them playing games, ASMR, their
Hmm.
own personality, through just chatting on Twitch, and
Yep.
this is also taking place on other things like Facebook, and Vimeo. So like what made you want to jump into that genre?
So for me, I started 2 years ago, about 2019. My reason was it was a very simple one, really. So I work all the time, and when I come back home, I playing games. I play video games. So at one point, I was just looking at it, and I was like, I've been hearing about streaming. I was like, maybe I could do it too, see how it goes. It was just like a little hobby to start off with, because I already play games when I come back home at night. It's how I unwind. So I figured, why not try broadcasting it to an audience, see where it leads me.
Mhm.
My 2 year journey has definitely been an interesting one. The first full year of me streaming was probably me just trying to find myself in that space.
Mhm.
Because if you're just playing a game and you're not really interacting or giving them any reason for people to stay and watch you,
Mhm.
you're not really going to grow. That's why you kind of see that there are a lot of people who are maybe like still at the low area, and that's because they're just playing. That's all it is. They're just playing the game. But by my second year, I kind of started realizing where I wanted to take the channel and what it was that I really enjoyed out of streaming.
So that's interesting that you mentioned that. You basically just told me that if you want to be a video game streamer, if you want to stream whether or not it's video games or any other thing, you can't just do that. You have to do a lot more. So like what does that entail? Like for those who are listening right now, I'm pretty sure you guys are wondering like what? Like isn't people supposed to recognize me by what I would like to do? But I mean, for me personally, as a streamer myself, it sounds
Mm-hmm.
like you're saying that people need to know that in order for you to grow, in order for you to truly be that genre, you have to what grow community,
There needs to be
give stuff
that.
away. Like, what is?
So it's more so that connection. That's how I see it. So there was an era, like the early era of streaming, that was when people were going there for simply gameplay.
Mm,
And that can still exist, but then at that point you have to be like a professional, like a professional player of that game. That means
okay.
people are coming there to watch your skill, not necessarily to interact with you. They're coming to witness your skills. And that's
Okay.
what you see with players like with streamers like Ninja, Tifu, all these different big names that they're there to watch them play because they are professionals. They're not there to gain some kind of connection with them. But for new upcoming streamers, you are most likely going to be trying to build that connection with the people who come to your stream. And then if you're the type of person who wants to play a game, and that's the one game that you're really going to play, that could actually be very beneficial for you, because you then get to focus on that one game, and you're building your community based on that one game. Like there was this young man that I met in streaming. I met him early on during my time. He was very new, and he focuses only on Star Wars. That's all he plays. I saw him again recently, and he's doing well for himself. Now he's at like 50, average of 50 viewers when I see him. And he's been great because he focused on that one game. He built his skill. He built his community around that one game. So if people are coming in, they know this is what they're expecting, Star Wars. But as a variety streamer, that's a little tougher for you. Because if somebody comes into your stream for this game today, and tomorrow you're playing a different game, that person might not come back for that game because their interest was there.
I've had trouble with that myself personally. Yeah. You know, there was a point in time where I just played like nonstop Pokemon. It's because of the DLC that came out, you know, for Sword and Shield. So I was just playing Pokemon. I had friends on, they were on a Discord chat, they were doing raids with me. And the thing with that was people are coming in, it was lovely. Like people like 15 viewers, you know, each stream, you know, on average. But then when I stopped, when the DLC died out and none of my friends were playing anymore, I switched over to Ghost of Tsushima. I switched over to other different types of games like that. And then it's almost like it's refreshed because the people who were subscribing, were viewing, like, oh, he's not playing this anymore. This isn't his type of game anymore. So it's like, it's almost like from what you're saying, you have to appease to the viewers, or if you're sticking to one lane, you have to stay at that lane. Otherwise, you won't be able to build like you say you want to build. Like I see a lot of people. I know a lot of people play Apex. I know a lot of people play Call of Duty. And a lot of people who play Animal Crossing. Yes. Outside of those like big games where it's never ending, how do you build like that? Because me personally, I'm an RPG streamer. I love playing RPG games. But if you can't build off of RPG games, and I'm not even sure like what type of games you play, how do you build? I mean, and I'm pretty sure you can even use this technique to build your following on social media for those who want to know, you know?
Yeah, pretty much. So exactly what you're saying. So at that point, you're no longer building off of the game. You're building off of you as a person. So that's where the connection comes in. So the whole purpose of that is that people are no longer coming just to watch you play a game. They're coming to watch you. There is some kind of incentive that they've gotten from watching you. Maybe that you're funny, maybe that you have some interesting gimmicks on your stream. There is that something that people are coming back to watch. It's no longer tied to the game. And that's what makes that more unique. It's definitely a lot more work. That's 100%. It's a lot more work because now you have to get that loyal person who is there just for you. And like you said, the same thing applies with social media as well. You're basically just building that image for yourself. That's so when people see you, they can recognize that, okay, this is what he does, or this is the type of person that he is.
Is that why some people say that social media is basically a false sense of reality? People build up their profiles, for example, and I'm not saying that, you know, this is most people, but people build up their profiles to retain a certain image, and other people, you know, attracted to that image, follow that image because they want to live that lifestyle themselves and they're trying to follow suit.
So I would say for that, it depends on the person. So for like me, if anything, actually, me getting into streaming and me getting back into social media, because I didn't care for social media before all this. I barely ever uploaded anything on my main Instagram, which technically now is no longer my main. But as I got into this, it actually allowed me to be more myself. Like I recently did that Itachi cosplay that I posted on Instagram, and I plan on doing one now every month. I always wanted to do cosplay, but I never really had like that opportunity or that incentive to do so, except for conventions, which we can't even go to now. So it's allowed me to be more myself, and people are being attracted to the genuine me. So, but I do agree, there are people who they make a different image of themselves on social media, and then people end up gravitating towards that, which is why when they end up finding out what the real person is like, it can shatter that whole image.
Well, I mean, when I say a different image, I don't mean in a negative light. Like, for example, like your image on your channel, you stream, you cosplay, And that's the image you want to portray to others. You know, I'm just saying that social media, for example, in the most part, doesn't highlight the negatives in a person's life. And people think that, you know, you're always supposed to highlight, you know, both aspects. But if you're just consuming just the positive, you kind of set yourself up for failure, because you're always thinking like, man, I gotta get to this point, I gotta get to this point in this here, I gotta get to this point by this date, I gotta get to this point by this time, by this birthday, and not really thinking that, you know, who knows what goes on behind the scenes. So that's what I mean by that. I don't mean by, you know, just people just painting false personas and stuff like that. I'm just talking about expectations.
Got you.
Now regarding streaming, you know, I mentioned before that I don't even know what games you play. What type of games do you play?
So the way I kind of break up my schedule, so I play a lot of RPGs, much like you. I play a lot of RPGs, but sometimes I also like to break it out because RPGs are long. So if I maybe do one RPG game, the next type of game that I'll end up streaming would be maybe something shorter, like a third-person shooter, a first-person shooter. Some days I do games like Beat Sabers for like on the weekdays for something short, just something that we can go bang, bang, have some quick fun stuff in there. I do community game nights. So I play a lot of community games. I love horror. I really love horror games. So I enjoy doing those as well. What was I thinking just now? One main thing for me when I'm playing a game, I love narrative-driven game. Like if I'm playing a game, like a story-driven game, I need the narrative to like suck me in. Which is kind of why I really liked The Last of Us 2. Despite all the things people had to say about that game, I personally, one of my top 5 games. That game tugged on some certain strings that were like, whew. But yeah, so those are the type of stuff that I play.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I always tell people this story about how I traded in Last of Us 2 for Avengers before even playing it.
I feel like that was a mistake. Avengers is even worse.
Because I didn't play Last of Us 1, so I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna play 2.
No, you need to play 1 before you play 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't play 1, so I was like, all right, let me trade this in for Avengers. But don't get me wrong, Avengers wasn't a bad game. It just had poor matchmaking, and it's taking too long to pick the DLC. I feel like the story was too short.
Yeah,
so
story was short.
Like they announced like what 16 DLC characters all for free. But you know, we're only on 2 now.
Drip.
Yeah, they're just like they dripping. Like you should drip like a big drop of 3 characters at a time. You know, 3 new stories at a time, and I feel like you'd have a bigger buzz. You know, because I mean they're selling the game at half off now on the PS Store because of it. And I do feel like for a game like that, you know, being over ambitious, you can't give someone a short story. You know, I went to Comic-Con. It's funny how the game came out last October because of the different the setbacks that the company had, you know. And I went to Comic-Con in 2019, New York Comic-Con, and they had the first level
playable
the first big
prologue
level. Yeah, not the prologue. It was like one of the first missions. It was like it was like within the first hour. It was like the last mission in the first hour of the game. They had that playable. But, you know, I watched it. I was like, I'm not really interested in it. But, you know, after I saw some gameplay and stuff like that, I was like, all right, this is cool. And don't get me wrong, the game's very enjoyable. Like, it's a very good game. Quality, story is good. It's just short, you know. And they should have a separate mode for matchmaking in the campaign. And I feel like that's the issue. Because I basically just did the story, but there's so much after the story that you can do with the game. But here's the thing, that stuff after the story isn't fun unless you're playing with other people, you know.
Yeah, it gets very grindy from what I have the game. I never finished it.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's a very grindy game, man. I mean, I don't want to play that. I mean, I'm kind of looking for my own like new MMO type game to play. Personally, because if I want to get grindy,
the journey of MMOs,
huh?
I was like, the journey, that is a journey that's a thing that I've been looking for the last couple of years. Me and my friends, we've been trying to find the next MMO that we can sink our time into. MMOs these days are very, I don't know if I've lost the appeal or it's just hard for me to find a good one. I really liked Final Fantasy 14. I feel
like it's just the graphics for me. You know,
the graphics?
I feel like it's the graphics because it has to be appealing for me to look at it for hours at a time.
So what about BDO then?
And what's BDO?
Black Desert Online.
Never heard of that.
Never
heard of that.
What?
What's Black Desert Online? What's that?
What? Oh God, you're about to be blown away. Then, if you've never experienced BDO, now's the best time to play it. 100%.
Black Desert Online.
Black Desert Online. Probably going to be the best looking MMO you've ever seen in your life. Plus, the combat's great.
If it's one of the best, why don't you play it?
I played it for like a couple of years. I got tired. That thing sucked my life away. It literally sucked my life away for like a good couple of years. I've just gotten past the point where I'm like, I can't. It's a struggle to go back now because I don't have that kind of time to invest into MMOs like I used to.
See, that's the thing. I mean, when I eventually if I eventually get like some time to like really invest and stuff like that, then I'll definitely play. But hey, it's added to the list now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Check it out. Check it out. Let me know what you think. If you're looking for graphics, best one there is combat, top tier. I'll always give it that. BDO is a fantastic game.
Because the only MMO, I mean, I tried out the Star Wars MMO and I hated it.
Old Republic?
Yeah, Old Republic. It was horrible. But then I played the Digimon MMO and it's actually pretty good, but it's just very grindy.
Was it official? Because I played the Digimon MMO like a couple years back.
Yeah, Digimon Masters. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
It's very grindy and it's hard to get Digimon. It's not like no Pokemon or anything like that. Yeah. So I wouldn't advise that unless you really have like a group to play with, and it doesn't make any sense to play because it's not like you could battle or anything like that. You just do missions and stuff and level up and just unlock things. But for most part, if you want to get the best of the best, you got to pay to play.
Yes, and that's the struggle with all these MMOs these days. Yeah. Have you played Final Fantasy 14?
No, I haven't played. I haven't played any Final Fantasy game actually. So
no,
not any. I mean, right now I'm going through Dragon Quest 11 on the Switch, and I love that game so far. And I just I gotta grind it out, but it's been so hard to find time to play. When you're doing so much, especially me doing my podcast and doing my
your book,
real estate ventures and my comic book and things like that, it's kind of hard for me to find time to just sit down and play video games because I got so much to do. But once I'm able to get the comic out the way and put out the first issue and start, just like pre-production of the second issue, I have some more time on my hands for a couple months to really knock out the game and just game a little more, because right now I'm taking a little break from Twitch. And just to free up some time to find time for myself, and I'm enjoying it, so that's one of the perks about it. But anyways, enough about me.
Before that, congratulations though, because
thank you.
I know you got way past the goal on your Kickstarter.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah.
I even went ahead and did one too. I pledged.
You did?
I pledged. Okay. I looked at it. I was like, your book looks amazing, so I can't wait to read it.
I'm definitely looking to put it out, and it's only the start of the series. I'm looking to put out like a whole line of like comics and stuff like that, very relatable for all cultures, and just to start like story writing, man. Because I love writing. I have all these ideas. I'm just ready to put it out. I know right now this is a comic book, but I'm also planning and looking to do some graphic novels too, because I love anime. I mean, speaking of that, what's your favorite?
Favorite of all time? Well, One Piece, because I've still
literally stuck. That's all you had to say.
You too? You love One Piece?
Well. I mean, I can't betray Dragon Ball Z. I can't betray Dragon Ball Z. But One Piece is top tier. Like,
thank you.
S tier, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
I say Dragon Ball Z was my first. I'm gonna keep the hat on. I say Dragon Ball Z was my first. But One Piece is currently my favorite. Like I watched it when it first came on 4Kids TV.
No.
Right? I watched it when it first came on Toonami. Like I remember the premiere on Toonami. And then when it went off Toonami and I watched it on 4Kids TV, I remember the One Piece rap, everything. Gotta go. Like I remember all of that. But I stopped at Crocodile arc because at the time, Toonami got canceled. And I think this was like 2008.
Yeah, thereabout.
And Toonami got canceled. So all the anime, that was currently going on, I'm talking about One Piece, Prince of Tennis, Mars, Bobobo, You know what I mean? Duel Masters, all those anime just disappeared in the wind, right? And then One Piece came on
The four
4
kids.
years later.
Oh, 4 years later.
4 years later in 2012. But that was my first year of college. I wasn't worried about sitting around Saturday night watching anime, you know. So the thing with that was I stopped it. I stopped watching One Piece. I want to say about 2018. This is the year Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. So I definitely put that in my top 5 of video games. Kingdom Hearts 2 in my top 5 video games. But the year Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, I was on winter break from grad school, and I started One Piece. I started from the episode he beat Crocodile. And within that month time period, because we were all snowed in up here, I was sitting in grad school and I was working at the same time. So me working throughout the day, be up doing grad school work to about 4 a.m. and then waking up at 9 a.m. to do work and just doing that every day. I watched from episode 151.
Around there.
And that's like the Zenny Goat.
Yeah.
Right before Skypiea. Yeah. I watched from there all the way.
It's like 700 thereabouts, I think.
To Luffy versus Katakuri.
God damn. Wait, god damn.
Within 30 days.
Jesus Christ.
I was a fiend. That's how much I loved One Piece.
God damn. That's a binge. Jesus. I think when I started One Piece, because I started it around maybe like 2008, thereabout, 2010. I was still in Nigeria at the time because so I guess that's where I started. So I mentioned early on. So I'm half Italian, half Nigerian. I was born and raised in Nigeria.
Okay.
I came here 2014 for school. Okay. So I'm getting ready to go back for master's now. But yeah, so I started that in Nigeria and I pretty much just had like a bulk to watch. I think I had like 500 episodes to watch and I pretty much watched it in maybe like 2 months thereabout. So that's how I watched all of that and I've just been going ever since. But the One Piece is great. It's the one anime that I know that it's this long, but it's still so entertaining.
Yeah. It's very long, very entertaining, and I love how they story build. I mean, my sister, she took time this year to catch up on One Piece, like from scratch. And, she's all caught up to the anime. She did skip ahead a little bit in the manga, but she regrets that. And now she's just like continuing with the anime. But my brother is just starting it, and he is halfway done with Dressrosa.
Wow.
After, watching it for a couple months now. So I was just an addict when it came to One Piece. And I mean, there was parts I fell asleep on Thriller Bark and parts I did fall asleep on Punk Hazard. But outside of those two, and Fishman, those are the most boring. Outside of those, everything else was just like, it was a revelation, and there was certain things where I've watched where it just had my mind boggled, now I don't want to talk about it anymore because, I may, end up leaking some spoilers for those who are listening.
Yeah.
But outside of that, what do you think about the state of Marvel right now? How do you feel about WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, post Endgame?
I enjoyed my WandaVision, actually. I actually really enjoyed it. More than I thought I would. That was good. They did good with that. We'll see about Winter Soldier and Falcon. But I mean, they did good with WandaVision, so maybe I'm pretty sure they'll do good with Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Yeah, I was gonna say the things with Winter Soldier and Falcon is like they're both like big side characters, So having their own show, like Wanda was a side character, but it's like Wanda strong, you know. Falcon and Winter Soldier like side characters, but it's like
they're not like God tier. Like Wanda, we always expected her to be God tier. This show allowed us to finally see her grow into that God tier status that she actually has.
Yeah, and the thing is with Falcon and Winter Soldier is like, I understand they're gonna bring in Agent 13 and they're gonna just bring in more underground, street level
Villains
people
and
with abilities
characters.
and stuff like that. But I just hope they don't mess up the story, man. I just hope they don't. And to be honest, I'll be completely honest with you. The way Marvel is going now, I just wish they did more of a rebuilding of the Avengers base. You know, it's like they had it, and then at the end of what was it, Age of Ultron, um, they all came together and was, like Avengers Assemble, and they were like team building and stuff like that. I just wish, like, I understand Cap's gone, Iron Man's gone, Black Widow's gone and stuff, but it's like take someone like Hulk, and Hawkeye is like, he's done. He's just training Kate Bishop. They're actually filming in New York, running
Really?
around and stuff like that. So I'm excited for that.
Hmm.
But it's like, why can't you just get someone like Hulk and Falcon, or Hulk and Rhodey or something like that, and them building up a new team of Avengers, like having some type of, like, I don't know whether or not they're leaving that for movies, but it's like, where do all these new, like, Shang-Chi, Eternal,
how do they fit in?
Yeah,
Blade.
how do they fit in? Right. Like, how do they fit in? Like, where are they going to go to work with the team?
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Because I was very confused too. As excited as I was to see a Blade remake, or at least Blade being brought back, I'm really just like, how's that gonna fit in with the current status of things?
Exactly. And I feel like everything, the whole state of the MCU relies solely on the Eternals. I feel like that's why they haven't put the movie out yet.
Why do you think that?
Well, because Black Widow and Eternals were supposed to come out last year. Black Widow was supposed to come out in May, and Eternals was supposed to come out in
November or something like that, towards the end of the year.
And Shang-Chi was supposed to come out in February. And Doctor Strange was supposed to come out at the end of this year.
Was at the end of this year?
Well, yeah, Doctor Strange was supposed to come out at the end of this year, but at the end of this year instead, we're getting Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
But the thing is, it's like the Eternals, and I hope they didn't just shelve the movie, but the Eternals were supposed to, like, bring in the lore of all the Celestials and all the higher level beings within the universe. I'm pretty sure they were going to talk about the origins of the Darkhold. I'm pretty sure they were going to introduce Ghost Rider, because his spirit's an Eternal. I'm pretty sure they were going to show baby Thanos, or Thanos's, like, history or something like that. I'm pretty sure Galactus might have been involved, or Black Knight might have been involved because he's getting a show. Icarus, and just a lot of other characters that, like, would maybe even Mephisto, like characters that may have been the big bad for this new, this new generation.
MCU,
And the thing is, I don't understand, and this is completely honest. Do you think, based off of the success of WandaVision, that Marvel should just go ahead and release Black Widow on Disney Plus, because everybody loved it? And people,
they should definitely release it on Disney Plus, 100%. But I think they can release it on both. They can do Disney Plus and they can do theater still if they want to. Kind of like what HBO does with their things. They can do both. I would probably watch it on Disney Plus, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I understand if you got to have us pay $15, $20 for the movie, people would pay that. Because it's different. I mean, you're making less money. Well, no, I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even say they're making less money, because when they're putting movies in movie theaters,
they have to pay
money.
They're paying the theaters a certain amount too.
They're paying the theaters, but if they're putting in Disney Plus, they're getting that money.
Yeah, straight profit, more or less.
Yeah, that's interesting to think about.
Was it the Wonder Woman movie? How much were they charging for that again? I know that's DC, but how much were they charging for that on HBO? It was some dumb price. It was ridiculous. Nothing? What was it? There was a movie that they were charging. Some movie.
HBO monopolized the entire streaming game of what they're doing. HBO said on Christmas Day, releasing Wonder Woman, right? releasing Wonder Woman, but you can only watch it within the first 30 days.
No.
So you know what I did? I went and I got HBO Go, and the family was sitting around the tree. We watched Wonder Woman. Right, 30 days, it's gone. Then the next 30 days, they got a new movie. They had that Black Messiah, I think.
Yeah.
Right, first 30 days, those 30 days gone. This month, Tom and Jerry movie.
So that's what they're doing.
This month, Tom and Jerry movie. First 30 days gone. I think next month is Godzilla. 30 days gone. You know, this Friday, is Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah.
You know, that's permanent. But the movie releases ones 30 days and gone. Disney, I mean, Disney's funny. Disney's funny because Mulan. You remember when Mulan first came out on Disney Plus? How much did that cost?
That's what I was thinking about. It was the Mulan movie I was thinking about. Wasn't it like 20, 30 bucks?
20, 30 bucks. How much does it cost now on Disney Plus?
Does this cost anything? Isn't it free? Yeah.
But it flopped.
That's the one I was trying to think of. It was the Mulan movie. All I remember is I was pissed off at it because it wasn't even good. Either way.
It flopped.
That's what it was.
But it's like, and then now they got the Raya the Last Dragon.
Yeah.
You have to pay.
Oh God, they're still doing that
$20
nonsense.
for it. Yeah. Ugh. You have to pay $20 for it.
Disney, learn from your mistakes.
But it's like, I feel like they should only like, you know what the big releases are, you know?
Yes.
You know what the big releases are. So
why are they
I
charging
feel like people may be paying for Raya because of the fact that Soul did pretty good.
Did people pay for Soul?
No, you have to pay for Soul.
Yeah, you have to pay for Soul. Soul was great though. I enjoyed Soul. Soul was fantastic.
You know, people love Soul, so I think they're like, oh, okay, you know, we could put out Raya in charge, but no, like
not at $20. Hell no.
You should like charge for Marvel. You know, that should be your main focus point right now.
Yeah,
because that's what people love. You know, if you're gonna put out a Marvel movie every week, like you know, they're doing literally a Marvel release every week this year.
Yes,
huge help. You know, because last weekend was like the behind the scenes thing of WandaVision. So yeah. Outside of that, man, you know, it was phenomenal talking to you, man. We just chopping it up about pop culture, chopping up about streaming, asking questions and stuff. Anything else you're working on, you know, that you'd like to share to everybody?
Stuff that I'm working on. Well, I actually just recently relaunched my YouTube.
Okay.
After not touching it for a year and a half.
Okay.
And I'm happy that I did so. I've revamped the branding for it. I've actually started uploading videos fairly constantly, and it seems to be doing okay. So I'm enjoying the process now. I think the time when I started it, I was a little overwhelmed because I was juggling way too many things at the same time. So now I'm just trying to manage my time better, work on one project at a time, and just add another project on top once the previous one has kind of gotten a steady level. So that's what I'm doing now. So I don't overwhelm myself again like I did end of 2019. That's when that happened. Too many things at once.
So question for you. What do you talk about on your YouTube channel?
So that is actually primarily going to be game news, drama, anything that involves the gaming industry. So may that be with Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, virtual reality, Twitch. As long as it regards video games, I talk about it. It could be rumors of game releases. It can be issues that are going on behind the scenes in certain companies, like with Anthem. They just scrapped the Anthem Next. And then there's Elden Ring from Software that everybody's kind of trying to figure out what's happening with that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm focusing on talking about video game related content there.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Where can we find you at?
So you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Lanzeral. And you can find me same way over on YouTube at, well, I guess you just have to type Lanzeral on YouTube and you'll find me there. Look for the dude with a fox mask. Well, kind of like this one.
All right. You know, that reminds me of what's that anime? Princess Mononoke, you know?
Princess Mononoke. Yes.
Yeah. You know, so that, you know, that reminds me of that, you know. But yeah, you know. So outside of that, Lanzeral, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. Definitely like to have you on, you know, again. Definitely looking to, you know, do like a panel of, you know, people like us, you know, just talking, chatting, and shooting ideas around. So definitely would like to, have you on with that. And I have a couple others who, are willing to participate. So being so, we'll definitely be in contact. And
For sure, man.
On that note, everyone, you have a nice evening and take care. This is the Innovative Dream.
You have a good one. Peace.